Doesn't look quite right again. I don't know. Something wrong with this. Such a shame that one poo's all over it. This is gonna have to just be a wee giveaway. There weren't any money anyway, so I didn't pay any money for it. Let's see.
Carnage, really. There's a couple of big pines down which has cut off a lot of people, but this is definitely the largest trees that have come down that we've seen so far.
Weather warning for rain is in place in the south of England all day today until midnight. Not what people living near the River Test in Hampshire want to hear. There's already severe flooding. Water has been cut off in areas in the south, with care homes, schools and vulnerable people relying on southern water delivering bottled supplies. And just look at these enormous waves that hit the southeast coast.
I don't know what's happened to this picture.
More flooding in areas like Kent.
Definitely an increase of flooding. We're going into a period now where there is going to be a constant alert.
Those living in Portadown in Northern Ireland were already dealing with the worst flooding in 30 years, despite Storm Ciarán being downgraded in the area.
Tilly's buggered.
Everything will have to be.
Such a shame.
Homes have been wrecked by water, and what this does to people is clear.
You've worked all your life to make your house as good as you can, and you just come in and it's devastating. And we've lived here for 30 years, and I've never faced it like this in my life.
And like in other areas, such as Downpatrick, this damage will take months to repair. The cost has been estimated at tens of millions of pounds here alone.
Oh, I've got a power cable. I'm just going to give it away without a power cable. Keep the power cable. This remote is for this telly here.
A new foundation to help people struggling with addiction has been set up in the name of
that one is superior.
He was best known for playing
I was hoping to get rid of this one.
But had battled with addictions to alcohol and drugs for much of his life. He was found dead last week at the age of 54. The family of the late former Italian Prime Minister Silvio Berlusconi are reported to have stopped the payments he'd set up for each of 20 young women who took part in his notorious
Full HD 108op as well, but
arrange the payments as compensation. Each
that
woman
one's just superior.
$2,700 a month.
Why does it look so funny there?
Hundreds of public swimming pools have closed across the UK since 2010, but today some of them are getting a lifeline to help stay afloat.
Well, at least I've got to make a video of it.
£20 of government funding is being spent to help those most at risk of closure. But campaigners say much more needs to be done. Celestina Olode reports.
A quick last swim for families at Newquay Leisure World. This pool is closing for winter.
We bring our two children here quite regularly. We've got all the slides and that. So it's very sad that it's going to be shut down during the winter because we love coming here. And you have a great time, don't you?
Yeah, I can see both sides. I see the costs have gone up, but certainly the fun pool is an excellent facility.
I just want this to be out of the way, so I'll stick it on there.
People would be upset by it, yes.
If that's what they've got to do, they've got to do it. But it would be nice to keep it perhaps going over the winter, especially with all the, the dark evenings and the shorter days. It's something nice to do.
Whilst the smaller pool next door remains open, closing this facility for 6 months will save about £30,000. Swim England say more than 1,000 pools have closed since 2010, but only 667 were built in the same period. It estimates that 75% of local authorities could have a shortage of swimming pools by the end of the decade. Surrey's Rainbow Leisure Centre has seen a 150% increase in its utility costs.
We have to look at temperatures where we can, make slight reductions without affecting the service. We've reduced hours very, very slightly. So we've made some slight adjustments to how we operate. But there's only so much that you can adjust that and so much that you can do without affecting the local community.
The government has announced the first phase of a £60 million fund to support swimming pools.
The first 20 million is to help in the short term with the particular pressures that some of the pools have been facing with the increase in energy costs and maintenance costs. And then there'll be a further £40 million to help pools become more innovative about being sustainable for the future.
But not everyone is set to benefit.
We've run a process that really wanted to identify those pools that were most at risk of closing and those pools that have the highest number of people going through them.
Five-time Olympic swimmer Mark Foster says pools like